The true measure of a society is how we treat its most vulnerable members. And there is no more vulnerable group in the world than a severely disabled child between the age of 0 to 3.
So is there anyone home? Is there anybody at home? Oh, that looks empty. So how many kids are in school today?
So Abe, can you tell me? Let's count. So how many kids are here today? Which one? Awesome. 6 kids are here today. Awesome, Abe. All right. Thank you, kids.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Avery.
First time I walked through here, I was coming for my job interview, and I was amazed by the activity that was going on in the classroom. The first classroom I went to was the developmental day school, and the staff members they just had so much excitement going on that it was hard not to get excited in their classroom. What struck me the most was the varied intensity of the kids' needs. I hadn't been around that type of environment before. Quickly I realized that they were happy, they were in school, and they were with their friends, and they were thriving. They were just kids being kids in school.
A classmate of mine named Cynthia Stocking and I discovered that there were no services for small children with disabilities in the community. This was back in the beginning of 1973, and I knew that there was space at the Parish of Christ Church. So being a parishioner, I approached the rector and told him that Cindy and I were thinking about starting a respite care service for families with young children with disabilities. We started in September with 3 children, 3 volunteer nurses, including myself, and $100 from the rector's discretionary fund to buy snacks for the children. We had outgrown the space at the church, and we needed an additional space to begin new programs. So we moved to our current Andover facility in 1986. Again, we continued to grow to develop new programming over a period of the last 40 years. Now we serve over 1,600 children annually between all of our programs. We now have 5 distinct programs, and we have a staff of over 100 full and part-time professionals.
I have a son named Adam, and he is today 5 years old, and he was about a year and a half, or closely probably about 3 to 4 months when we started to notice that he wasn't developing the way he was supposed to. So when Adam was about 9 months old and we got in touch with the Early Intervention Center, it was crazy. It was so stressful. We did not know what to expect, and I was depressed. My husband, we had a hard time with ourselves, together, our family, and it was just too much. And he was about a year old when he got his diagnosis, which is called MECP2 duplication syndrome, and it's very, very severe. And the thing that maybe even the thought of thinking you might lose your child, which is a very big possibility before they reach adulthood, all that stress, all that frustration, not even knowing the future, and with that, having early intervention, they were here for us. They helped us, they held our hands, they helped my son, they helped me, they helped my husband. I love them. I mean, the way I feel for these ladies, how they work so hard, and it's real. They helped us go through all this stuff, and be able to climb up, be strong, and support our son and give him what he needs.
My daughter Carrie had just turned 2 when we came in contact with the professional center. And Carrie probably came with what was a relatively typical diagnosis for the professional center, but she was significantly delayed on gross motor, on fine motor, and on speech. So as parents, we were faced with what I would describe as pure panic. The professional center, I would almost describe it as swarmed over our family. They immediately became part of the family. They took control. What they were doing was, as well as providing therapy, they were teaching our child how to play. They were teaching us as parents how to start to communicate. When they started teaching Carrie sign language, they were inadvertently teaching us sign language. And the professional center's role was coordination, lining up these therapists, and basically packing as much therapy into Carrie's life in the next 9 to 12 months as we possibly could. Carrie is currently, she's a 7-year-old. She's in a public school. She's playing basketball. She's dancing. I'm going to be putting on her skis later this year. She is still nonverbal, but she is using a augmentative communication device and able to participate in a typical class. As a parent, we start to think of what's she going to be at 15? What's she going to be at 20? And as an adult, what is she going to be able to do? All of that is yet to be written in her story, but I do know that she got the maximum possible impact from her year with the professional center.
I've learned over the years that these children can make great progress, that their families appreciate the services, and that they can find their place in the community.
We'll build a house that will be so strong.